May 12, 1987. A teenager comes home to discover his mother has been savagely attacked. Police arrive and find the victim half naked, stabbed to death. The victim is 38-year-old Genora Faye Stevens, a part-time secretary and mother of a teenage son.
As I came into this house, television was on. She had laundry laid out. She's folding laundry. I mean, you know, this is what people do. And then I saw the amount of blood. Her son came home to discover her in her last breaths. It looks like this photograph. She tried to get on the phone to call 911. In her last few minutes of life, she put up a hell of a fight. Suspect literally had to become very determined to end her life.
Huff has one potential lead.
I found a witness that saw a guy near the crime scene an hour or so after the homicide, and he was wearing a jean jacket and looked like he'd been in a fight.
To Huff's disappointment, they can't find the man in the jean jacket, and the case goes cold. 3 months later, a possible break. Police arrest 19-year-old Quentin Barnes for burglary. Huff learns Quentin was living next door to the victim, Genora, at the time of her murder.
As I looked into the past, found out he was a cocaine abuser, not a very stable guy.
CSI searches Quentin's house and finds a jean jacket like the one the witness saw on the night of the murder. Huff's instinct kicks in.
These little bits and pieces of minutia are adding up and adding up. This guy is coming together as a suspect.
Huff questions Quentin, but his potential suspect denies even knowing Genora.
It was a gut feeling. I knew it was him, but I had to let him go.
As the years pass, the unsolved murder of Genora Stevens is never far from Huff's thoughts.
What I really wanted was the truth. I wanted to find out why that happened to that lady. I just was not going to give up.
7 years after the murder, Huff processes the jean jacket again, taking advantage of advances in forensic science. This time, they discover fibers on the jacket similar to the ones from the victim's robe. They also find on the jacket a woman's hair that may belong to Genora. The forensic results still are not 100% conclusive.
The evidence was entirely circumstantial, but I got enough to arrest him for the murder.
To build a solid case, Huff needs a confession.
This is one of the first confessions we videotaped. I was a little bit self-conscious, but I thought a videotape would be the best evidence.
Okay, let's go back to May of 1987. Why don't you tell me what you were doing on a daily basis at that time?
I was living with my sister at the time.
He was upset being arrested. He'd been around the block enough to know this was serious.
I want you to tell me as much as you can remember as to what went on that night.
That night, my sister came home.
Go ahead, Quentin.
And she said, why don't we break into the next door neighbor's house?
Meaning the lady that got murdered?
Yes.
Okay. Whose idea was it to go into this house?
My sister's.
The sister was not a suspect in this crime. I knew she wasn't. I had already proved that she was somewhere else, so I thought I will let him go with this because this is still leading us toward the facts.
How'd you get in?
There's a door leading into the house to the garage, and it was unlocked.
As Quentin breaks his details down into blaming his sister for this entire thing, he's actually confessing. When he's saying she did something, he's really saying, this is what I did.
The lady seen me and my sister. They started wrestling around and ended up in the kitchen. I was right there by that door. That's the furthest I went in there.
Quentin claims he did go into the house, but only as far as the doorway to the attached garage.
Do you remember it enough to be able to draw it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move right over here. Draw it big enough so this camera's going to be able to see it.
If Quentin can draw the scene, that means he's the one in the house.
We came in from here and they started wrestling and went in there. And
Did this big living room area, did it have a door?
back door. I remember I heard like a little bar or something leading into the kitchen, like around here or something.
Uh-huh.
He's saying, I just got inside the doorway from the garage, but yet he's showing us 1 or 2 rooms away.
Quentin's statement is incriminating, but Huff still needs a full confession.
I did not kill her. I seen her stab that lady. She stabbed her, Mike. And I don't care what it takes, but I'm not doing the time for it. She'll do it.
Have you ever once told me this story?
No.
So you have lied to me in the past about all these stories?
Yes, sir, I have.
You lying right now?
No, sir.
You're saying that you saw your sister stab Janora Stevens,
Yes.
and you didn't do anything to go help the lady?
Because I was scared, Mike.
For what?
Because I didn't know what to do. I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
I am realizing I am not getting what I need, and that's the truth. I really wanted to be confrontational to him, but I looked up and realizing this was on camera.
Huff is concerned if he pushes too hard, his aggressiveness will come across negatively on the interrogation tape.
I was worried that I would get into a shouting match with him, that it would get unprofessional. I worried that that might disappoint the jurors or make them think less of me. I just didn't know what the end result was going to be.
Huff decides to end the interrogation without a confession.
It's now 22:02 hours. This will be the end of tape statement of Quentin Barnes.
I knew that the case was thin, and I didn't confront him. I wasn't forceful enough, and I let him be in control. I just hoped I got enough to get him convicted. Now we've got the rooms wired, but this was the first time, and it was a little awkward, and I was a little self-conscious, but you know what, at the end of the day, the jury looked at this statement, and the prosecution lined it out piece by piece. Only the killer would know the inside of this house. Only the killer would know exactly where it happened. He admitted to being there.
Huff teaches there can be more to the interrogation than getting a confession.
The end result was that the jury convicted him and got a life sentence. I poured my heart and soul in this case, 7 years worth of it. It was very personal, and it was very satisfying that he got convicted and that the truth was heard.